I'm Corbett Wall with DVAuction, here with your feeder flash for Tuesday, June the 3rd, brought to you by VITALIX. Not all tubs are created equal. Stretch your profits with every lick. VITALIX wants feeder flash game members to have a chance to win free tubs. If you're watching this on NationalBeefWire, click on the ad that's right next to this video. The VITALIX ad. If you're watching this on YouTube, go down into the descriptions and click on VITALIX and find out how you can register to win free VITALIX tubs. Get the blue tub. Your cows will love you. For more information, go to vitalix.com. Also, Beaver County Stockyards. I'm going to be heading up there on Tuesday morning to Beaver County. Going to have a big run, 6,000 head, 600 to 700 calves, weighing 4 to 6 mostly, and 75% of them weaned. They do have a couple deals that are long time weaned, but that's about it for the calves. They've got 2,000 yearling heifers. For the most part, they'll be weighing in the 7s and 8s. They've got some replacement quality heifers there if you're interested in some of those. Get into there, and 20 plus load lots of yearling heifers, so it'll be really nice. And then the yearling steer deal is just going to be something else. 3,200 head of yearling steers there at Beaver County Stockyards. Most of them be weighing from 700 to 1,000 pounds. They've got some grazing type yearling steers there that be suitable to turn out and graze. And they've got some that are going to weigh 1,100 pounds, but the quality is going to be outstanding. They've got the Buckingham consignment there. They are burning up with quality. You never seen anything as fancy as them. Then you've got, of course, your Radcliffes are going to have a couple of hundred in there. Their sons R&R on the Radcliffes going to have 500 in there. They've got, just deal after deal. Suitors out of Dodge City is going to have some cattle in there. They're going to have, no telling how many load lots they'll have, but it is just string after string after string of fancy yearling steers, and I'm going to be there and get to sell part of them. The cow sale to follow is going to have a couple hundred cows. They do have 31 first calf heifer pairs that are going to be black and black baldy. If somebody wants some of those, they'll be on offer there. But they're starting at 7 o'clock in the morning, and then they'll roll right on. Be sure and get on DVAuction.com to watch that sale, and you can get approved and bid on that sale also. Like I said, I'm headed up to Beaver County on my way to Omaha, Nebraska for the LMA conference and the World Champion Livestock Auctioneer contest, so looking forward to that. That's always a good time. Who do I think is going to win this year? I don't know. Jace Thompson, I assume, probably going to win it. He's pretty hot right now. But want to tell you about a friend of mine, one of my market reporters when I was with USDA and the Missouri Department of Ag. One of my favorite reporters, Roger Parker from Mexico, Missouri. Of late, he's been an agent for Producers of Omaha, but Roger had a stroke late last week or over the weekend and is kind of having a tough time, so we're definitely thinking about Roger, and we hope he gets better quickly. On a lighter note, my friend Wes Spinks became a grandpa. His son Buster and his wife had a baby and named him Waylon Spinks. So there's a picture for your photograph book here. But Wes seemed like a pretty proud grandpapa there. But talk about this American Angus Association. We've heard that. I mentioned it before. They have accepted $4.85 million from the Bezos Earth Fund and Global Methane Hub. Now that sounds kind of scary, but I was contacted early this week by Brian Palmer. He's an Angus breeder, and he and sizable group of other Angus breeders have got together, and they have got a petition out to take to the American Angus Association's board, and they are saying that just accepting that money kind of legitimizes the argument that cattle are causing a lot of pollution due to their cow farts and burps and ruining the environment. And they don't think that that's an argument that we want to, accept, because a lot of us don't think that they're hurting it that much. There's been several studies that say that the methane that they put out is recyclable, and it's not that bad. I've heard of another study in Oregon that said that cattle are actually a net zero carbon emitter. When you think about all the, everything puts off carbon. And the grass that the cattle eat, if it goes dormant and just kind of goes stale, it puts off a lot of carbon. So if cattle are eating the grass, they're actually doing more good than they are bad. But, the petition signers are saying that this conflicts with their values, and they don't like it. So if you feel that way and you'd like to sign the petition and you are a breeder, I guess you can do that, and it will be taken to the board and they can consider that. Now, just being fair, the American Angus Association has put out their side of the deal. They said that they actually got involved with this with some other Angus researchers, and their Angus genetics division got invited by beef researchers in Australia, in New Zealand, Ukraine, and Ireland, and they wanted them to get involved, and they had applied for this grant and want to get involved in doing more research to see what's causing this, and see how they can stop it, and see if they can, through more efficiency and better conversion of feed and all that kind of thing, they might can do a lot. And that's a pretty good argument too. $4.85 million is a lot for a cattle group. I mean, it's not like they're sending rockets to the moon and dealing with that kind of money. It's not apt to be able to get that much kind of research money and handed to you there. You might as well take advantage of it. And when they're hoping to maybe find some research that shows that the cattle are not causing that much. I hope they don't spend that money trying to research how the Angus cattle don't put off as much pollutants as the other cattle. That would be like saying that the similarly equipped Ford diesel pickup puts off less pollution than a Dodge or Chevy. And I think that's going to be hard to prove there, but that's what's going on. I don't really have a dog in a hunt, but the Angus Association says that they need to have a seat at the table at this Bezos deal, and that's kind of a phrase that we use when we're dealing with people that we'd rather not deal with, that are going to be making decisions. It's nice to have a seat at the table, so I guess that's their seat. But there is a petition out there, and I want you guys to be aware of it. Let's talk about your board on Monday to start the week. June live cattle futures up $1.07 at $216.55. August up $165 at $211. Your back months were up $117 to $180. They have changed the limits. The daily limit moves, and that was introduced on Tuesday for the first time. The limit on live cattle has gone from $6.50 to $10.75. Ouch. August feeder cattle up $292 at $301.75. September's up $320 at $300.90. Back months up big from $287 to $355 higher. The limits that were introduced by CME on Tuesday have taken the feeder cattle contracts can move. It was $8.25. It's now $13.75. That is not something just to be playing around with, guys. You can get hurt. Talk about corn. For July, it was down 5 3/4 cents a bushel at 438 3/4. Your progress report said that corn is 93% planted now compared to 90% last year at this time. Your soybeans down 8 1/4 cents a bushel at 1033 1/4. Soybeans 84% planted, 77% last year at this point. And hard red winter wheat for July up 6 1/2 cents a bushel at 539 3/4. Your weighted average on last week's negotiated fed cattle trade out of your 5-area feeding region had 64,900 head, compared to 46,400 a week ago or a week before, and 59,300 the same week a year ago. And this is just another example of when the market is sharply higher, we trade more cattle. And it was a lot higher this week. Last week I was kind of struggling with give and take there, but this week sharply higher, sold more cattle. Your live price on fat steers and heifers in your 5-area ranged from 215 to 237, kind of mixed but mostly higher. 2 lower to 6 higher. Your weighted average on live steers was 229.94, up 297. Your dress trade 362 to 376. That was $6 to $8 higher. Your weighted average on dress steers 368.06, $6.32 higher. Man. But as a whole, your Southern Plains 1 to 3 higher from 221 to 223. Your Northern Plains steady to 5 higher from 230 to 236 live. And dress sales $3 to $11 higher, 365 to 371. Now nationwide, we sold 81,500. That's not a bad clip these days, compared to 55,500 the week before and 74,400 the same week a year ago. Of that 81,500, 26% were for the 2 to 4 week delivery. Negotiated grid 38,200 head. Forward contracting 23,400, and formula sales were down sizably, just 203,200. It's usually up around 250,000 in formula trades there, but they're just tight supplies out there. Of the 4 out of 5 feeding areas that give information, Iowa sold 23,200 negotiated. Nebraska sold 24,800 negotiated. Kansas sold 10,100, and Texas sold 6,800 negotiated. Box beef cutout values were kind of mixed and lower on choice for the first time in several trading sessions of being higher. But choice cuts 366 even. That was down 34 cents is all. And selects were up 146 at 358.11. Your slaughter on Monday was estimated to be 115,000 on cattle slaughter. Can't compare that to the previous Monday because it was Memorial Day. But the same Monday a year ago was 118, so 3,000 less than the same Monday a year ago. Talk about what else is going on. Virginia Cattlemen's Association has been promoting Virginia cattle since 1944. I wish more of the state associations would stick to doing things like that than some of the other things they do. But I tell you what, they do the good job there. They aid in marketing. They also help people get their cattle sold, help buyers find those cattle when they're looking for them. Butch Foster's in charge of that. He does such a good job with all those sales around there in Virginia, and he gets in contact with buyers. Brandon Reeves heads up the association there. They have got a new app called VA Cattle, Virginia Cattle app. Search for it in your store for your apps. But it's a one-stop shop for cattlemen. For more information, go to Virginia or VACattlemen.org. Talk about what else is going on. I want to tell you about the market out east was on fire. Now I talked to Greg Nichols. He's a cow buyer out east in Pennsylvania, and one of my old stomping grounds was New Holland Sales Stables there, and it's a big market out there for the east. It's pretty much the main one going up in the northeast, and they can sell them, guys, and they've got good cattle. He brought to my attention the high dressing highest bull you've ever heard of in your life. It was a Piedmontese, of course, double muscled. They sell really high, but that bull weighed 2,025 pounds, sold for slaughter at $3 a pound. Wow. They had high dressing cows selling from $155 to $169. I tell you what, this cow and bull market is getting real, people. Let's talk about your feeder cattle market, brought to you by Specialty Risk Insurance. Your real-time index on DVAuction ended the day on Monday after your sales had closed at 301.22. That was up 33 cents from last week. And your CME cash feeder cattle index gained a bunch of ground. It was up 301.13, so very, very near your real-time index, and it is catching up. But talk about your big sales on Monday. Of course, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma National Stockyards said 7,500 head. Compared to 2 weeks ago, which was the last sale, your feeder steers are 5 to 10 higher. Stocker steers, those 6 to 7 weights, kind of old crops that are in condition to turn out, they were a little cheaper. People got all the grass cattle bought now, guys. They were steady to $3 lower. Steer calves $2 to $6 higher. Feeder heifers $3 to $7 higher. And heifer calves steady to $1 higher. So a good sale there in Oklahoma City. Joplin Regional Stockyards had a huge sale, 13,000. They underestimated by 1,000 head. Nobody does that except for Joplin. But whale of a sale, whale of a sale. I conversed with Jackie Moore there a couple times during the sale, and he was just really impressed with the way everything was selling. Compared to 2 weeks ago, the last sale there, the feeder cattle going right on the feed sell from steady to $10 higher, is what the market reporter called it. Now, he had the calves lower and was talking to some of the buyers there in that sweltering heat. You know, you just, especially those unweaned calves, they're just going to melt, and just guys were backing away from them, and sometimes it got considerably lower on the calves because of the heat and the condition. But the buyers were telling me that those cattle had been 60 days weaned, they'd still bring it all. So steady to lower, however much lower you want to call those discounts. But we've got, that was your stick out sale of the day. We have got a brand new sponsor for the stick out sale of the day, Superior Steel, and it's Superior Standard cattle equipment. They are located right next to Joplin Regional Stockyards, just right there on I-44. You talk about some heavy duty cattle equipment there. We're going to be talking a lot more about them going forward, but welcome Superior Steel as an advertiser here on the Feeder Flash. They're your sponsor of the stick out sale of the day. Look at this automated market report from Cattle Market Central. Look at your best tested weights. 1,074 head of 4-weight steers, average 457 at 395.31. 1,345 head of 5 weights, average 550 at 362.11. 1,302 head of 6-weight steers, average 641 with a weighted average price of 339.49. 698 head of 7-weight steers, average 760 at 310.88. And 876 head of 8-weight steers, averaged 861 at 289.40. Look at the heifers. 1,006 head of 4-weight heifers, average 457 at 363.54. 1,586 head of 5-weight heifers, average 540 pounds at 333.10. And 1,099 head of 6-weight heifers, average 655 at 304.13. 1,346 head of 8-weight heifers, averaged 823 with a weighted average price of 269.20. A lot of the bidding was going on online on DVAuction there at Joplin, and a lot of times you think they're going too fast to take the online bidders bids, but they were buying big strings of cattle right there through the ring there at that Joplin, and then getting right in on them. But they were buying a lot of them through DV Auction. Now the biggest bunch they had was 797 head of growing yard heifers, just heifers. They weighed 819 and bring 269. And then another stick out deal was the Wilmoth Ranch, had 120 steers in there, weighed 788 at 328.50. Whoa. Your other stick out sales through the day, individual quotes were Sylvan Sales Commission in Sylvan Grove, Kansas. That's the little market with the big prices. Talked to Toby. He was pretty excited about this quote. 150 steers weighed 953 at 299 in Sylvan Grove, Kansas. Olean Regional Stockyards, that's near the lake in south central Missouri. 100 head of 521 pound steers, they bring 409. But the most impressive quote I saw on Monday, your Macrocin, no BS, top quote for the day, come out of Callaway Livestock Center in Kingdom City, Missouri. 76 steers, weighed 652 at 380. That's your feeder flash for Tuesday.